Okay, I'm going to answer some of the questions that have been asked. So, Hugh.Jamali, his question is, say a task you're not good at or don't like doing, how do you mentally prepare and overcome it? Well, I hate doing my tax returns. I hate having to review my tax returns. I hate having to review my GST and all those sorts of payments I've got to make every month or every quarter. How do I mentally prepare for it? I'm going to just bite down on it, and I get my accountant, who happens to be my son, to come in and sit with me and go through with it. And I just ask him 1,000 questions based on what he's prepared. And to some extent, I just say, okay, it is what it is. I sign it and get on with it. Not much I can do about it. I hate doing it. Everyone hates doing it. But as Albert Einstein said, it's one of the inevitable things in life, death and taxes. So there's not much I can do about that one. Here's a question from Kenrish. Kenrish asks, what are my thoughts on cryptocurrency trading as opposed to stocks? Well, the difference between cryptocurrency and a stock is a stock, generally speaking, is much more tangible. In other words, they have tangible assets. It's listed on the stock exchange or a stock exchange, for example. It is well regulated and well monitored. And generally speaking, they give you a return annually. And the returns are much more fundamental and much more tangible. Whereas a cryptocurrency, I put my money into a cryptocurrency, they don't pay me any interest on my money that I put into the cryptocurrency. It is a sort of a trading stock of some type. You are trying to trade the ups and the downs or the highs and lows. It's not based on fundamentals as far as I can see. There is a lot of momentum trading involved. You've got to be really clever and lucky to do well in it from my point of view. So I would prefer, if I'm going to trade anything, I would prefer to trade listed stocks. Okay, like everything you get, got a couple of weird ones. Here's one from Vegui 1972. I guess that's the year Vegui's born. And Vegui asked me, could I see your body without a shirt? No fucking way. But, well, I'm not going to do it now. But by the way, I think you can go into dailymail.uk and somebody papped me after a boxing match when I was getting changed. So there's a few photographs in the Daily Mail UK with me without my shirt on. But it's just my shirt's off, that's it. This one's from Frankie Fernavicta. And he says, hey Mark, what would be the best way to get my podcast out there to a wide audience? Going on a platform, an aggregation platform that someone else provides, is always a good way of doing it. I make sure that my guests are interesting for my audience. I understand my audience. I know who my audience is, so I make sure that I drive the content towards that audience. I'm not out there just talking about a whole lot of shit that no one's ever interested in. Don't be afraid to collaborate with other podcasters. So if someone invites you on their podcast, you go on their podcast as well. And they'll talk about your podcast. You can talk about their podcast. Basically, building an audience is about building awareness and getting other people to refer their friends and or their colleagues to your podcast. So you've got to make sure your content's good and your content is suitable to your audience, the audience you're after. And by the way, it takes a fucking long time too. Don't expect to happen overnight.